Okay.
Oh, you were already recording, dude.
I know, but I stopped it just so that I could come in. So it
Oh,
would I could make
excellent.
sure it was gonna record
Perfect.
cause. Okay.
Awesome.
So
All right, so
cause you
Steven,
don't have to record or anything. It's gonna just
Okay.
do it automatically.
Okay, perfect.
you're at 33:55, right?
Yep.
All right, let's click record.
Okay.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, click.
But cause if you
And
could
cause,
clap, that would
oh
be
yeah.
good.
Okay.
All right, we'll say 1, 2, 3, clap.
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. Great.
All right, you come in, Steven.
All rise.
Hey, bangarang! How's it going over there? I love this movie. I burned the CD out. I got a second copy. It's the best music ever.
Wait.
Cheers.
You played the CD so much you had to get another one.
Yep. It literally scratched. It
Oh my
literally,
gosh.
that can happen.
I guess so.
That's so real. That's so sad though. What a good CD. What a good record.
I've got it somewhere. Now it's digitized.
Yeah, that's true. Yep. It's eternal.
You didn't do the ASMR sip of your La Croix.
Oh, hold
I
on.
do want to hear that.
Cause loves this. He freaking loves the ASMR.
So here's what I got today.
It's my favorite.
I got the grapefruit, sparkling water, and real fruit juice from Spindrift.
Oh yeah,
Ooh.
Spindrift. Yum.
Spindrift is heckin' good.
Yeah.
It's really good. Although I have to say, don't leave it on your desk half drunk, half dranken,
Yeah.
right? Because I poured one out, dude, like that I had left on my desk, and it was there for like 2 weeks, and it was black.
Oh,
What?
Yeah, dude.
Oh, because there's actual juice in it, and so it
dude.
molded or something.
It kind of turned me off, bro.
Oh,
Okay.
That's so nasty.
But so drink it all.
Drink it all. Are you drinking something there, Cause?
Just some regular old water in my
Okay.
Nalgene. It's also got some cool, probably fungus in there. You know how it is
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Nalgenes. They
Sure,
get kind of funky
Nalgenes.
after a little while.
Yeah, never share an Nalgene.
No, if you drink from somebody else's Nalgene, it smells weird.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like other people's kids, where you're like,
Oh.
ew, or other people's dogs. You're like,
For sure.
yuck. But my own Nalgene is fine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so true.
All right, Kaz is joining us. Kaz, the reason why I thought of having you on was because we actually talked a little bit of Hook in your Guess the Production jingle.
That's right.
Because we were
Right.
talking about TriStar
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
being one of our favorites, and then we were arguing about whether I think we were talking about, like, does the Universal logo come up in Hook?
Mm-hmm.
But it was just
Right.
TriStar directly into bum 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 bado yeah do
Mm-hmm.
and then I was like, oh, and then you and Anthony went off about how much you freaking love Hook, and I was not into that. So I thought, let's get Kaz back on. Anthony can have a friend during this conversation.
I'm glad to be back. This is fun. I love Hook. Such a good movie.
Yes.
Now, I said in the intro, that's my experience of talking to people about Hook. Most
Mhm.
people, that I don't know why, most people I talk to have pretty affectionate feelings toward this movie.
Yeah. I know. I feel like I've heard from you several years now that you like the first 45 minutes of Hook,
Right.
and it's a hot take. I feel like, that you only like 45 minutes of a film, and especially Hook.
There is no movie where I have such a roller coaster of liking it during the movie. I love the opening. I don't just like it, I love it. I think I've tweeted before, how I'm quoting my own tweets. People love it when people do that.
Right.
That my favorite movie ever is the first 30 minutes of Hook, and my least favorite movie ever is the following 2 hours.
It's Perfect,
Oh
dude.
man.
Perfect
So
tweet.
we need to cause somebody who likes the whole movie to be here with Anthony. We're gonna put this movie on trial.
Mm-hmm.
Should I do the rules?
Do it.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're new to this, we find a movie we love, or one of us chooses the movie. Today's an Anthony's choice.
Yes.
We talk through it. We act as its defense counsel, and Anthony and Kaz are going to present some evidence to try to prove to me, the grumpy skeptic in the room, to the listener, that the movie is perfect. And then when we're done, I get a vote. Anthony gets a vote. The listeners get a vote. And if the listeners say 75% yay, I'm very curious about this one.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
say yes, and Anthony says yes. Then it goes on the flash drive. This is our final movie of the year, so the last chance for us to put a movie on that flash drive.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and we
Dang.
chose Hook. Shoot. Just kidding.
We give it to Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum. They fly up and they give it to the harvesters, and then nobody destroys. Now I'm kind of afraid, sorry, that this one, if it were sent up, would cause even more destruction.
It
Wow.
wouldn't help, I don't think.
There's a lot of chaos in the movie. That's fair.
They wouldn't know what to believe after Hook.
Where's this Neverland? Let's destroy that place instead.
Yeah, let's actually, dude, yes. If they watch it, they'll look for the second star to the right,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
go straight on till morning, and they will not destroy Earth.
Yeah.
That's true.
There we go.
Okay. So let's try
Oh,
to
that's
get
good.
it up there.
Okay.
Here's what I was thinking. I have honest, deep curiosity
Yup.
about why this movie seems to be so beloved. And me, from the first time I saw it, was disappointed. With it.
Wow.
As a child, I went in and I was like, come on, man.
Oh, you poor little cynic.
No, I like so much stuff. In fact, when my dad was here this past weekend, he doesn't trust my criticism because I like too much stuff.
Wow.
Oh,
Interesting.
Got it. Right.
I love loving movies,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Hook never connected with me, even as a young child.
How old were you when you watched it for the first time?
13.
Okay.
What about you, Kaz? When did you watch this movie for the first time?
I was thinking about that, and I actually can't even remember, because this was one of those movies that was at my grandma's house, and anytime we were there, we would watch it because we loved it so much. And it was just like one of the only VHSs that she had, and so we'd always pop that bad boy in and watch it. It is so good.
Got it.
So I mean, it's one of those ones that's like just so deeply ingrained in like my life that I couldn't even say when I watched it for the first time. So I was really, really young. I know that.
Okay. All right.
Is this possibly one of those movies that's like, if like you have a relative that makes a dish that is not very good, but you like love it because you always had it there, and and then you start to crave it, and then you're actually like, this is awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that could be.
Yeah. And I
Like,
like
Okay,
that.
like
Go
at Starbucks used to have like a grilled cheese sandwich. It was called like cheese on toast.
Ooh.
huh?
Dry as frick. It was so lame. And like, but dude, after a while I was like, I think I want the Starbucks grilled cheese sandwich, because
Yes.
it grew on me.
Uh-huh. Yeah, there are so many movies, and if people have been listening to us long enough, they know in my life that are like that, right?
Yeah.
I
Right.
know that they're nothing special,
Mhm.
but they are to me. Now,
Yeah.
that does not explain the fact that I have a hard time finding anyone outside of me, Jessica, Noah, and Jack who don't like this movie. I mean, I watched this movie. It was like family movie night. We're going to watch Hook
Uh-huh.
like last weekend. And little by little, there's this exodus that happens as
Oh,
the movie
no.
goes along.
That is
like-
so sad.
Yeah, I know. It's just not, it just doesn't connect with me or 71% of critics, but regular people that I talk to are like, I love Hook.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have to talk about what we love, like why people love it. Then that's what we
I
gotta
wanna know.
And also, dude, I didn't really know your disdain for this.
It's not disdain, it's just distaste.
Distaste.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I will talk more through that, but I don't want to start with it.
Okay.
Because
yeah.
I did name some things that I love about it. The title, the conceit of the movie, the poster. I think it's in the top 3 scores for me.
Dang.
Yep.
It is such a good score.
Of John Williams scores, top 3 of scores total, top 5, I would say. Wow. This is John Williams for me, including Banning Back Home.
Ooh.
Top of his game.
Okay, here I learned a fun fact about that.
Okay.
This summer. So my friend Brett, the conductor that like analyzes scores and is like a brilliant orchestrator, conductor, you know, he was like, "Do you know the original title for that cue?"
Okay.
It was Yuppie Sounds.
Yuppie Sounds.
Because it's the kind of jaunty tune that plays over like oh gosh, I'm sorry guys, it sucks. Robin Williams
Jack?
being a businessman and doing that thing with the cell phone where they're like like pulling out their cell phones.
That's in the first 30 minutes though. That's in the first 30 minutes.
For some reason,
ooh, good point.
I noticed it again for this time and I'm like, "Oy, mama, that's bad." But anyways, that song's playing in the background and it's I know why they would call it Yuppie Sounds, because it's like, isn't this guy just the product of the late 80s? Can you believe this guy?
What a yuppie. Peter Pan becomes a yuppie. But he actually had a scan of the sheet on his iPad and he sent it to me. I'll send it to you guys. And just to see John Williams' handwriting, Yuppie Sounds. And then they retitled it Banning Back Home, right? Because he doesn't get a home run. Wait, what does that even mean? Banning Back Home?
Because I don't know.
Right?
Banning back. Sorry, that doesn't make any sense.
That title doesn't make sense. Our favorite song.
Yuppie Sounds. What a rude awakening this is.
But I think that is like literally the perfect title. Yuppie Sounds.
Yeah, that's
like
good.
It's in a mall. You're at Partner to Nordstrom.
Yeah.
You know, like you're in an elevator. Cheesy. Like what? Like were they like when that cowbell comes in? Were they like rocking out in the recording studio, or were like this is like were they like this is good?
Well, 7/8 of the orchestra is not playing, right? So they have to sit there and listen. The rest of the small remnant of performance. The bass back up. I usually play upright, but I have to play the stupid bass.
Yeah, no, dude. You know the guy that's playing this bass who is probably a friggin' brilliant genius musician. Okay, I don't want. Yeah. I'm having fun, but like his bass is so high. You know the body of the bass is up here.
He could rest his chin on it.
Yeah, it's got 7 strings for sure.
Yeah. Oh man, just real smooth looking. Oh my gosh.
So there are things that I love about this movie.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
The package does not come together for me, and never has. And so I would like to hear from both of you.
Okay.
You can alternate if you want. Things you really love about this movie.
Great. Yeah. Let's start with. Sorry. Yeah. Let's start with our guest, dude. Kaz. Thank you for being here. I want to hear your first thing that you love about it, dude.
Yeah. Well, so one of the things that I was thinking about with this movie is that, and I don't even know how to describe it because I don't know if this is a genre or something, but it's like the movie is kind of like a sequel or something like that, you know, to like the Peter Pan mythos or something like that. But it's like there's no like original movie necessarily that they're like deriving from with this. It is like its own thing. It's not like it's connected to the Disney movie or anything like that. It's just like part of the like Peter Pan lore or whatever. And one, I think that in of itself is so cool that they're able to make their own story based off of a character that already exists and a story that already exists.
Yeah.
And like, so that in of itself, I think is really cool, but the story is amazing. Like, I think it like, or the concept of it is really, really amazing. Like, you know, Peter Pan, never grows up on Neverland, but then he like goes home and settles down. So I just think that like just that concept in of itself is really interesting.
Yeah.
And a really cool and I love the not the twist, just the plot that it's about him learning how to be a good father when he was like a child his entire life essentially, and then was like thrust into adulthood. I don't know.
Yeah.
I find that to be pretty like a really interesting story.
Yep.
Like just idea, you know. So
Yeah.
that's one thing that I was thinking about that I think is really cool and unique about this film.
Yeah. Is I feel like this is one of the first times I can remember like there being an alternate, like another part of a story that was so pre-existing. Like think about like Wicked. You know what I mean? Like now we're gonna hear another like bit of the story of
the other side of this. Yeah. Right.
Yes.
Yep.
Wicked's a great example of that, actually.
Yeah. I was trying to think of different examples of it, and that's probably the best. Well, I mean, I can't actually think. I mean, they've done remakes of like what we're talking about is like kind of old, kind of fairy tale almost.
Yeah.
Right.
Or like they've now shifted into public domain, and so anybody can make anything they want with it.
Right.
Yeah.
So Wizard of Oz is a great place to go, because then you can say, well, but you don't know this side of the story. And again, it's a sequel to the lore almost of it. It's not a direct sequel to the movie. They never mention that like this is a sequel to the movie.
Yeah.
Well, quoted as a writer though is J.M. Barrie.
Right.
So like they put him in like the writing credits. They don't even say based on. Like at least on IMDb, he's like a writer.
Huh. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
No, maybe IMDb got it wrong, but I mean,
okay.
I do want to know the story though of like who made the ruby red slippers. You know what I mean? Like, we're gonna find out. The shoemaker, the cobbler.
This is sometimes like Solo, where it's like,
How far could you
I don't
go?
want to know those things that you think I want to know.
Yeah.
I don't care.
The story of Ollivander is growing up.
Right. Yeah, totally. Cause I thought of another example.
Okay.
Doctor Sleep, which is sequel it's a sequel to I can't remember the name. Oh, The Shining.
Yeah.
Right. But that movie is a sequel to the book and the Kubrick movie combined. And so you don't really know which, and it's the kid grown up.
Yeah.
But you don't really know which it's a sequel to. It's just kind of a sequel to the ether, the myth of that story.
Yeah.
So that so I was saying this a little bit in the intro. That's my number one thing that I love about this movie, is that idea is so good.
Yeah.
This accepted truth about Peter Pan and saying, well, what if something happened after all that? And now we have to deal with it. Yeah, I agree. That's great.
Yeah. Dang, I didn't realize you were talking about that in the intro. Just swipe.
No,
that.
don't worry about it. No. It's great, because I think that's top tier why this movie succeeds, because it's such a good idea.
Yeah. I find it to be super interesting, and to see kind of how like the Lost Boys like coped with it while Peter Pan was gone, and who they've become and stuff like that, and the rising of Rufio. I want to see that movie. How he came to power.
Oh, I see a Rufio prequel.
Yeah.
You're not getting a sequel with him though. Sorry about that. He dies inexplicably.
I know. It's
oh
just
man,
the
that's
worst.
sad, dude.
It's
Just
so
run
sad.
through. Yeah.
Oh man.
Sorry, Rufio.
Okay, so everything like that you're saying, Kaz, is right on. Like when you describe like Lost Boys,
Mhm.
like how they coped with Peter Pan leaving, the rise of Rufio. All that sounds cool.
Yeah.
For
I'm
sure.
gonna go on Steven's side and be like, in execution, it's super lame. Like, you're so right, dude. But like the execution is like, I
Kinda
don't
key.
know.
So
Yeah.
how can you recognize that, Anthony, and still love the movie?
Okay, all right, dude. Okay, let me get into this.
Okay, here we go.
I
Now
have
talking.
I have 5 main things that I love about this movie, but like one the three main ones. Okay,
Yeah.
the dad trope, the
Yep.
score,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
and nostalgia.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Let's start with nostalgia because music is the ultimate. But let's start with nostalgia. Like, again, it's like that thing of you watched it at your grandma's house, you watched it on sleepovers, you went to the theaters, you listened to the album. It's so ingrained and steeped in like who I am that I can't help but like frigging love it. Like,
Yeah.
and let me just give it an example. So in 8th grade, so when did this came out in 91? How
Year I
old?
was born.
You would have been in 8th grade. I was a freshman,
Okay.
I think.
So the summer after 8th grade
Uh-huh.
is one of those like moments where like a transition point of like, you know, from boy to man. Okay. We're not going to get in anything weird.
Yeah, tell me some more details of that.
The rise of Anthony.
I'm no longer Peter Pan. Sorry. No, like nothing weird. So we went on a canoeing tour of the Boundary Waters.
Mm-hmm. If northern
So, like,
Wisconsin. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's actually like it's like Minnesota,
Right. Okay.
I think. It's like Canada actually like touches it.
Okay.
And so it's just lake upon lake, it's islands, and it was at least a week. My Boy Scout troop and my
Mhm.
dad was a chaperone. How that happened, I have no clue. Like,
Because he wasn't
like-
usually involved, was he, with
No.
the Boy Scouts?
well, he would be a chaperone. He's actually a pretty good camper.
Okay.
He's a happy camper.
Nice.
But he came on that trip. It's dads and sons.
Okay.
And dude, there was this moment where I did a portage like all by myself. So I've got my huge pack. I could actually post a picture. A huge pack. I've got the canoe up and I
Mhm.
make it all the way across like a portage, which is, you know, from like one lake to another.
Right.
You have to carry all your crap.
Carry it across like an inlet or something. Yeah.
Yup. And dude, it's like a moment ingrained in my brain where like I like became like, you know, like I went to towards manhood. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
one of those.
Yeah.
It was like a really big deal. And my dad was there and he was cheering me on. And at the end, we all shared our stories, like how you would get together after a trip and like share the highlights around a campfire. And he shared that and he was crying and I was crying and everybody's crying.
Wow.
Dang.
And so then we have to drive all the way back to Madison. I think it was like 7 hours or something like that. And all I could think on that drive home was Chinese food and Hook. I want to go home. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Tony back home.
Yeah, Tony back home. It's like, I just want yuppie sounds. Get me back to my yuppie life. But it's like, you haven't showered in a week.
Mhm.
Like all the things. And that was like literally the most comforting thought that I could think of was comfort food and Hook.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
That's
so
so real.
do you know what I mean?
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
I mean, am I reading too far into this? That there's also like this dad stuff
Dude,
in the
I
movie,
didn't even.
Yeah.
and your
Yeah.
dad is finding real joy in you
Yeah.
during your
Mhm.
trip, and then you come home
Shoot.
and watch a movie about a dad flying because he remembers his kids.
Yeah.
Right. I didn't even put that together that it would be with him because we listened to music together, right? We listened to
Yeah.
Mhm.
Last Crusade was like our CD.
Mhm.
Oof.
You know what I mean? Like that, like
That's my number 2, by
Right.
the way.
Dang.
Dude, shoot.
Scared Silver Motorcycle.
Last
So
Crusade
good.
is so good. So, anyways, that would be my first thing that I absolutely adore about this movie is
Yeah.
which
Yep.
I cannot. As we've done Perfect Movie for a couple of years now, and I really am like dissecting more movies. I
Mhm.
watched it with a critical eye. I was like, this is not perfect. This is a mess. Like I read a quote, cause
Yeah.
here this was Steven Spielberg's quote about the movie from my
Okay.
humongous book I have
Wow.
here.
That's a good book. Good book.
They're like, "Hey Spielberg, tell us one thought you had about this movie." He said, "Every day I came on set, I thought, is this flying out of control?" So even he knows it's a mess,
Wow.
but I can't separate it.
Yeah, I mean that's
can't
crazy to
separate it.
me. I appreciate that you're talking about nostalgia because I mean when you told me about like or invited me onto this episode, I was like, okay, well I at least want to I want to try to watch the movie or watch scenes of it. So I looked it up if it was on any streaming things, and it wasn't. And I saw that the tomato thing, Rotten Tomatoes is like 20 something, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
what? I mean, I was amazed that it was so low. Like I thought.
Yeah.
I just have such fond memories and such like there's so much nostalgia. It's kind of like Space Camp for you guys where you're like, wait,
Mhm.
people don't like this movie? Like that's
Yeah,
how this movie is for me.
That was a real kind of rude awakening for me where I was like, this
Yeah.
cannot be.
Yeah.
I just figured everyone loves this.
Exactly. That's exactly my thought. And so like Stephen, when you've always said like the 30-minute thing, I'm like, okay, that's just a Stephen thing, but also critics and stuff. Like I had no idea. I just thought that this was a beloved movie by all.
Well, I'm experiencing the opposite thing where I look at the audience score and I see that it's in the high 70s.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, now you just figure everybody thinks what you think. So
Yeah.
I'm like, okay,
Right.
and then thinking back, like I said, to every time I talk to somebody about it, they're like, I love Hook.
Mhm.
And then I feel like a real stick in the mud. But I do. Yeah, I mean, there are things that I really like about it, but it just I think that the nostalgia thing keeps it in my mind and keeps me watching it semi regularly,
Mhm.
because I know. I mean, honestly, even when I watched again last week, I know every note for sure because I had that CD that Anthony wore out.
Mhm.
Totally.
But I also know every beat. I know every line.
Mhm.
And so I obviously watched this movie like incessantly
Yeah.
when I was young. I felt like it was a turning point for me as a 13-year-old going into this movie thinking this is going to be awesome, coming out and thinking I didn't like that. And that felt very jarring to me because at that point I was just, when you're a kid, you're just like, a movie. I like movies. I like every movie.
Right.
And so that is the primary memory I have of this movie. It's a jarring one. So maybe that's part of it.
That actually makes a lot of sense, dude. That you were being thoughtful.
Yeah.
You were like critically thinking. I said you were a cynic. I should have more said you were thinking critically. You weren't just accepting what the masses say is good. I'm going to think for myself.
Right. And that's good communication skills. You don't label somebody something, you just say something that they did. Right. You're not a critic. You just criticize.
You are not. Yeah.
It's not who you are. It's just what you do. Right.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. So so you said nostalgia is one. You said that should we talk any more about the dad stuff? I mean, it is a movie about being a dad, right?
Yes. Okay. We got 3 dads here. Let's talk
Dads.
the dad thing. What were your thoughts right away on that one, Cause?
Yeah, I mean, when I was a kid, it was pretty significant for me watching this and seeing like, man, like him be a bad dad, to his family and stuff like that. And it's starting out that way and then becoming a better dad. Like, I just thought that was really moving. I personally didn't grow up with my dad. He passed away when I was really young.
Oh,
and so,
I know that.
yeah. So like seeing this movie and seeing a father try really well, like be just a scumbag, but then try and try and try to be
Mhm.
the best he
Mm.
could be, while also not like he it was like he became himself again or whatever, right? You
Mhm.
know, like
Yeah.
he becomes the Pan again or whatever they say in the movie.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he
I do like
becomes,
that terminology. I like the Pan. It reminds me
yeah,
of the Batman, right? Like
yeah,
he's
Yeah.
like it's a title or
the
something that he
title.
has. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
it was
Yep.
super
Yeah.
cool. So him like becoming himself again, but that also encompassing him becoming himself in the sense that he's now a dad. Like he's just like living out his identities. He is the
Mhm.
Pan. He is also a dad, and so those things combined are what make him like what make him the hero of the story or whatever. Like I
Mm.
just thought that that was really compelling as a kid who didn't have a dad, you know,
Mm.
Mhm.
and like in becoming a father recently, like my goodness, like that scene where he's like gotta fly, you know, gotta think of the happy thought,
Yeah.
and then like
Yeah.
he flashes back to his son getting born, like,
Yeah.
oh man, it's just
Right.
like it hits me every time, you know. And
Yes.
like those were the thoughts that I had when my first, you know, my first child was born, when Luna was born 3 years ago. It was like I literally thought of that scene and the music and all that. I'm
Wow.
like, oh
Okay.
my
Yeah.
gosh. So
Yeah,
it's,
dude.
I
You
mean,
hear
it's
that
like,
swell in the background. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. And
jeez.
like the sun, it's like a sun in the background. Like it's
Mhm.
like an
Yeah. Yeah.
image I can't get out of my head, you know, and it's
Mhm.
just a movie, but it like invokes so much emotion. So
Yeah.
Mm.
I think, you know, even in childhood, there is significance to that, to the father figure or the dad stuff in the movie. But even now as an adult and becoming a dad, I think that there's like, it's like come back in a new way, you know?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Dude, that's
When
so
you
good. I
first,
actually
oh,
did
well, I
hear
would,
the swell.
yeah,
Like
that's
I
true.
actually had the music playing in the background
You did.
Oh,
when No, I'm just
oh.
joking. I'm just
I
Okay.
was
kidding.
I
like,
was like,
oh
where'd
my
you get
gosh, that's
it?
amazing.
Just
Um,
kidding.
when you
Like we
when
had
you guys
worship
were
music
pregnant
playing.
with Luna,
Mhm.
you actually asked me to send you a list of good dad movies. Remember that?
Yeah. Yep.
Mm.
And I conveniently left Hook off of the list.
Oh.
Well, I put it in, like,
Right,
no
and you
joke.
inserted it in.
I was like,
That's
why
funny.
isn't Hook on there? And I put it on myself.
Right, yeah.
Wait, we need to have Kaz back and go through that list, dude. I think
Yeah.
that would be really cool. Like best
That would be
dad
fun.
movies.
Yeah,
Mhm. Yeah.
Because I want this list. That sounds
Okay.
like
it's pretty good.
really cool.
It was
It's
fun to make. Yeah.
yeah, it was fun to watch a lot of them. I
Mhm.
didn't finish all of them, but I watched like Field of Dreams. I'd never even heard of that movie, and then
Yeah.
Mm,
watched that for the first time. That was really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, there is a lot out there. My theory about dad movies is that most of them come out of some sort of pain
Mhm.
concerning
Totally.
their own dad, right? And so then there's
Yep.
a lot of, because there's a lot of that, right? There's a lot of movies about bad dads and good dads out
Mhm.
there. Sometimes it's harder to find a good dad movie. I mean, I remember the thing that I like most about Man of Steel
Mhm.
is that it has two good dads in it,
Yeah,
Mm,
double good
which
dad
Yeah.
movie.
which felt like it's rare enough to get a movie with one good dad
Mhm.
who doesn't start bad. You know, both of the Russell Crowe and, speaking of Field of Dreams, Kevin Costner are good from the start in those movies. It's
Yeah,
just a rare thing. It's cool.
Kevin Costner is one of the better parts of the Snyder
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Snyder Vision. I think actually I like
Mhm.
him.
me
Yeah,
too.
Yes.
definitely a great
Kent, what's his name?
Jonathan Kent.
Jonathan Kent.
Thank you. We need you and Julie around at all times.
To just say you're forgetting this obvious name.
Hey, dude, can I play? I want to play a clip
Okay.
on the dad theme, okay? Because, yeah, let me just play this clip.
Your children love you. They want to play with you.
Mm-hmm.
How long do you think that lasts? Soon Jack may not even want you to come to his games. We have a few special years with our children when they're the ones that want us around. After that, you're going to be running after them for a bit of attention. So fast, Peter. It's a few over. And you are not being careful. And you are missing it.
Dang.
So that line, you are missing it. I haven't actually sat down and watched this movie in like years
Mm-hmm.
before last night. And like I never like I didn't really expect to be as affected as I was
Hmm.
in the screening of it last night. Because I don't think I've actually sat down and watched it. I definitely haven't sat down and watched it post midlife crisis.
Hmm.
Like, what's the metanoia in
What
the
is that?
spiritual realm is like I was just listening to that Catholic woman on the Unhurried Living podcast.
Hmm.
She's talking about, I think it was metanoia. It's like the midlife crisis,
Yeah.
the time where you like take stock of everything.
Mhm.
And so I had not sat down and watched this movie since that. Maybe I think, like I said, Lily and I watched it when she was 5-ish, and we haven't watched it since.
Okay.
And I was like really affected by the theme that kept coming back, which I had never heard, which is you're missing it. You're missing it. You're missing it. You're missing it. That is the whole point of the first 45 minutes of the movie is, Peter, you're missing your life because you're like so focused on work,
That
basically.
huge cell phone. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
stupid cell phone. Like, like
Yeah.
he was like nervous, angry, irritable. He has fits of rage. He was critical. He's unimaginative. These are all just adjectives I was writing as I was feverishly taking notes last night.
Mm-hmm.
And he was missing it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can 100% relate and career driven and career oriented. And I can 100% relate to every one of those.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
like, I don't know, that really, really affected me last
Yeah.
night.
Yeah.
And I think
Yep.
that little monologue that Moira gives, beautifully acted, beautifully portrayed, and it's
Yeah.
it's like it's a big reminder. So the what you said, Kaz, about like my happy thought
Mhm.
is my kids is daddy, right? Like he's like Teddy,
Mhm.
daddy,
Yeah.
daddy. Like I actually think that is so good.
Yeah.
But so the happy thought, and then the idea of Lily's now 10,
Mhm.
so we have 8 years left.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
we're more than halfway to her to college. And Steven,
yeah.
I know you talked about that on Arrival,
Yeah.
and in Savor, it's like I don't want to miss it.
Mhm.
Right.
So
Yeah. So Noah's 18.
Mhm.
yeah,
Jax drove me home from his driver's
Crazy.
ed class yesterday.
Wow.
yep,
So he's almost 16. Now, Kaz, you have little girls,
Yeah. 3-year-old and a 9-month-old.
right? Yeah. So can I just give some dad with older kids a word?
Yeah.
sure,
Yeah.
And this is I heard this from a older dad when my kids were, I think, between the ages that you guys are right now. And here
Yep.
comes Amy right now with Robin, just handing Robin over.
Look at the little baby. So cute.
There's your
Daddy.
9-month-old right now.
Aw.
I was kind of bemoaning the fact that my kids were growing up and that they were someday soon going to start like hating me,
Mm,
not
Mhm.
not wanting me to be around, not wanting me to come to their stuff. And Brad, Cause
Brad Burleson.
Brad Bertelson,
Yeah.
he was having dinner with me and he said, "Stop saying that." He's like,
Hmm.
he had girls that were just about to graduate high school, and he said, "My girls never stopped wanting to be at their stuff, right? Never, they never hated me, and that's because I was present with them, and because I knew how to separate my work from them,
Hmm.
and because I was a good dad.
Hmm.
So stop saying that like it's true." And I
wow.
was just like, okay. And I never said it again. And I never thought it again. And I was just
Hmm.
like, I'm going to be present with my kids and I'm not going to miss it. Now, I love that Peter Banning has this moment brought on by his wife in this movie where he's not for nothing in the first 45 minutes of the movie that happens.
Yep. Right.
And then he comes back around to having that moment where he's like, I'm not going to miss it anymore. I think that when your kids are that age, you actually have to go through that. Like, whoa, this is almost over. I'm not going to miss it.
Wow.
That realization feels pretty important.
Mm. Yeah, dude, that's a great word, man. I love
Seriously, that's so good. Sorry, there's a baby on the podcast.
That's all good. It's kind of like very poignant because we're talking about being dads and being present. And we now have actually our youngest guest. Actually, Lily and Isla have both been on as babies as well, years and years ago. Yeah, I 100% relate to the overworked, career-driven, and so again, having not seen it in a really, really long time, that like kind of floored me.
Yeah,
there.
awesome.
So, yeah, bro.
Should we talk a little bit more about the music? Do you think? Should we?
Okay, here I'll come in with that.
Okay.
Yeah, let's hear
Okay,
it.
dude. Can I give my third favorite thing?
Yeah.
This could and should be its own episode. The original score to Hook. I don't know why it wasn't nominated for an Academy Award. I should have looked that up.
Yep.
What were the 1992 Academy Awards nominees for best score? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what's better than this, and I don't know what we're listening to. Like that, like since then. Are you looking it up, Kaz? Oh, I saw you grab your phone. I thought maybe you were gonna look it up.
Oh no, I just was making sure
don't.
that Amy's good out there.
Yeah, no, don't worry. So there is no score other than Saving Private Ryan.
Right.
No album other than Saving Private Ryan that I've listened to more.
Yeah, I was wondering. I knew Saving Private Ryan was up there. What about Schindler's List? Did you listen to that a lot?
I love Schindler's List. Dude, okay. Schindler's List is amazing. I saw it on
Yeah.
I was poo-pooing for a second, like on a Thrive ad or a Ombre ad. No, Schindler's List is incredible. It wasn't like my go-to listen though.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's my hot take, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when Zemeckis was like, I don't know if Back to the Future is going to work. Alan Silvestri, can you do anything you can to boost this movie? I need it big, big, big.
Yeah.
Right? Like that was Zemeckis to Silvestri.
Yeah.
And we got the Back to the Future score out of that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Spielberg was like, this thing is flying out of control. This movie's a mess.
Yeah.
Johnny, I need you to save this movie.
Right. I need extra from you. I need you to
go
really do it.
The
this
best.
time.
It's gotta
I
be.
need you to go so extra. And what happened was he produced the score that saves this movie.
Yeah.
Right.
And that was my epiphany last night, is I was like, that's why I watch this movie so often, because I didn't resonate with the dad stuff until like yesterday.
Right.
As much as I do, I was like, I've always watched this movie. I actually never really watched this movie. I just listened to this movie. And I watched this movie just to hear the score.
The visual is like what the score is to most people, right? Like the score was the star for you, and the bonus was that there was a movie behind it.
You could put just scenes of like art up and I would watch it. Like, it doesn't even matter what happens, dude. The score is so good. Like, I can't even believe, like, it's a symphony, dude.
Yeah.
I think it's the most leitmotifs, other than Star Wars, that John Williams has ever done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because we just did Home Alone with orchestra, and there's only like 3 themes in that. There are like
I remember when we did our Jurassic Park episode, there was a shocking amount of leitmotifs in that. But I think Hook might beat it.
It might. Jurassic Park has so many. It's crazy. I love that we're talking about the score. In college, I would listen to movie scores to help me focus while I was doing homework and stuff. And I put on like a Pandora, station, This
Sure.
was like
Yep.
before Spotify was really a thing.
Mhm.
And then I just remember randomly Hook coming on there, and it had been so long since I saw the movie, but it just like did something so visceral in me. I
Mhm.
just was like crying while I'm studying,
Yep.
and like just listening to the stuff in the background, and then Hook comes on, and I'm like just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
pause.
It's something else. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah, I mean, my number 2 favorite song to run to of all time. So first is E.T., right?
Mm-hmm.
The extended track from the
Right.
20th
That was
anniversary
revealed
CD.
several episodes ago. Yeah.
Yep. My number 2 is Arrival of Tink and Flight to Neverland.
That's awesome.
Dude, like, actually, to be honest, I haven't watched the movie in so long that when I watched it, I was like, this is dumber than me running. I was like, the visuals are actually making this piece of music worse. I was like, turn that off. I just want to listen to it. Like, I was like, dude,
That is
okay,
hilarious. Yeah.
just as an example, when he becomes the pan,
Mhm.
right? And like they do the line in the sand, dude,
Yeah.
that if you listen to that without music, it would look so dumb.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
But
It elevates it, right?
Yeah.
Williams saves movies,
Yeah.
That's it.
totally.
and he
and that's
also
why that's why
probably
this is the best.
drives up like
Mm-hmm.
box office. He
100%.
makes these movies so much better. He elevates it at least a letter grade, and I think
Oh,
he
yeah.
brings people in, and I think plants it in nostalgia
Yeah.
for people in a very
Absolutely.
unique way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's those light motifs like you've
Mhm.
talked
Yep.
about. I mean, it's like those things stick with you in the movie, but they also stick with you in life. Like you will
Mhm.
always,
Yep.
I don't know. I always think about those. Like I will always hear the binary sunset. Anytime I see a sunset, I'm like,
Yes.
shed a
Yes.
tear.
Yeah.
They're just
Totally.
so iconic.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, you're doing it, Peter. Without music would be lame.
Okay.
With music, incredible.
I
All right,
think
here
I'm
we go,
ready to
Steven.
get. I think I'm ready to. I think I'm ready to give you some reasons why it doesn't work for me. Is that all right?
All right, let's do it.
Well, can we talk about the food fight though? That scene
Oh,
is
I bet
so
this is gonna-
good. Oh, I love it.
You like how that food looks?
I love how that food looks. The blues and the greens. Like, what kind of food is blue? I don't know, but I want to eat it. And then they throw it at each other. That's like my dream come true, is having a food fight. Oh
That's
my
every kid's dream
gosh.
for sure.
Yeah.
I think maybe Harry Potter does it so much better. With the food appearing scene in that first movie is really good because the food looks good. It's like actual pieces of chicken. There's something on that table in Hook that looks like some sort of dead alien. Too many legs.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Sick.
Oh man, I love it, and I love the food fight. I love the Lost Boys and Rufio as a whole. Just like
Oh, no.
the rebelliousness. Oh, give me more of that. This movie covers all seasons of life: childhood, teen
You're right.
angst, and fatherhood. That's
You're
all
right.
the
Did it.
stages.
That's true. Okay. You're going to hate this then.
Yes.
Bring it.
There's this one of the things that this movie does for me. Anthony, you like the way it makes you feel.
Mm-hmm.
There is really high cringe factor for me
Oh,
in
yeah.
this movie.
Yep.
That's fair.
And I would say it revolves around two things.
Okay.
Robin Williams is up there. He would be the third thing. Sometimes I don't know why I just don't connect with him very well. It's not Mrs. Doubtfire rapping granny level cringe,
Right.
but it exists in this movie. When he is Pan, especially, you're just like trying to act like he's a teenager.
Yeah.
It just does not work for me. The
Sure.
two main sources of cringe are the kids in this movie do not work for me except for Rufio. I really like Rufio. but I think the kids are like badly directed. I don't think it's
Mm.
the kids' fault.
Yeah.
I think their line readings are very odd, and
Mm.
like
Mm.
one or two more takes would have worked.
Yeah.
But it's just it. I just think the boy that's also in What About Bob? He's one of these kids that talks like a grown up,
Yeah.
and I don't
Mhm.
like that. And then
I actually kind of like Jack.
okay.
I kind
Yeah.
of
Now
like Jack.
I'm assuming I'm probably alone in this.
No, that's
There
okay.
you are, Pierre. It's just like
Oh, man.
I like the look of the tubby kid,
Yeah.
but
Thud butt.
when he and Peter are having that
That's his name.
conversation on that
Thud butt.
bridge, it is so that is rough stuff. I'm sorry. He's like he's a bad actor and badly directed. Okay.
Oh no.
Wow. I do love that
But-
part.
Wait.
The
Okay.
main source of cringe for me
Uh-oh.
is Julia Roberts as
Ah.
Tinkerbell.
Whoa.
I think
okay.
she is so badly cast. Normally, I think Julia Roberts is great. I
Yeah.
think she's super charming. I like how tall she is. She was like adorkable before adorkable was a thing, right? I think
Yep.
I think that she's a great actor, wonderful, deserves all the accolades.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm turning inside out when I watch her in this movie. I'm cringing and cowering behind my when you're watching a horror movie and you have your hands over your
Oh,
face, but you're
man.
looking through the fingers. And Anthony's showing us pictures right now. I just don't get her in this movie. I think that she's trying to act like a little girl, and I can't stand that. I think
They didn't get the tone
looks
right at all.
no,
Like,
Yeah.
for example, in Arrival of Tink and Flight to Neverland, best piece ever.
right?
When you first meet Tink, she's got like an effect, like a synthesizer effect on her voice.
Okay, right, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's
Yes.
like
Oh my gosh.
it's like the helium effect.
Oh,
Yep,
that's
it's
so
like
bad.
auto-tuned
You're right.
or
Yeah,
like
But they don't keep
toned
it
up.
consistent.
They don't even keep it.
like-
Yeah.
Very inconsistent. I agree with you. Her performance feels inconsistent. I don't know if she's aloof or extremely invested. She's
Yeah.
in love with Peter Pan, which is a thing. Then she's like, there's that scene where she's in that dress and it just feels weird.
Yeah.
that
It
is
does
weird.
feel weird. And I felt that way as a kid too. I'm like, I don't really understand what's going on.
Right. So, and her act, she's bad in this movie. She's just really bad, and nobody knew what to do with her probably because she's friggin' Julia Roberts. You can't tell her what to do anymore,
Yeah.
and you can't fire her because she's above the title.
Yeah.
She's in the trailer. Her name is swooping toward you. You can't get rid of her. Oh no. Oh geez. Sorry everyone, but it almost makes the movie unwatchable to me. That's
Okay.
how bad she is.
I get it.
Yeah. I got to rewatch it. It's been a long time. But I do know some of the cringe factor that you're talking about. And I do
Yeah.
feel that too. So
Yep.
that's real.
Okay. I also think there's a significant plot hole that I don't get besides I don't understand Hook's death. I think
Ooh,
Dustin
okay.
Hoffman's great. I think Bob Hoskins
Agreed.
is great.
Agreed.
I think those
so
are
good.
great. I think they spend a little too much time with Hook and the kids where that feels like it drags to me.
Yeah.
I do like the way he seeds doubt. in
Sure.
Jack.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think that
that's
storyline's
actually an
actually
arc.
pretty. That's a pretty cool story arc, like planting lies, right?
Mhm. Yeah, that's pretty
That
good.
was well done. That
Yeah,
was good writing,
compelling-
actually.
Compelling
I thought.
villain.
I think the way he's playing that character is interesting. I think his look is good, all that stuff.
Mhm.
Yep.
His death does not make any sense to me. And also, I really love the kids are my happy place, like you guys do with Peter Pan.
Yeah.
I don't get though why he immediately forgets that and is still able to fly around.
Yeah.
Like
That's
he's
fair.
like, I'm Peter now. Peter Pan ain't got kids. All that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait, I thought this was supposed to be your big moment. And then 2 minutes later, he forgets.
Right.
That just feels incongruous to me, and a moment that feels really good
Mhm.
that somehow gets lost in the 10th or 11th rewrite, and that's the one we get in the movie. I
Mm.
want that to last, and it doesn't last very long.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
What
Makes
about
sense.
the last battle, dude? Do you like or hate that?
I you know what I like about it is its practicalness.
Mm.
You don't get much of that anymore because they would do all that in CGI.
Yeah.
Right.
So I like it when you see the kid who I think is the worst actor, the tubby kid who ends up being the new Pan.
Thud butt.
I like when he crouches down and then all of a sudden he's like a big ball.
Yeah. Yeah. He turns into the ball.
Yeah,
That's
that tickles
Tub
me. I get a
Wait,
kick out of that.
Hey, but dude, there you are. Peter is not Thud butt.
No, I know.
But
He's a
that's the-
different horrible kid actor.
Oh, okay. I actually like.
Oh, I know. I'm sorry,
Me
you
too.
guys.
You
I-
are
I
the
don't
Thud
think-
butt.
I don't think it's those kids' fault. I think Spielberg is not into it. I think you're hitting
But
it,
he's-
Anthony, where
it's
he
so
wasn't passionate
weird.
about the material.
Yeah.
We just talked about E.T. 2 episodes ago, and the thing
The
that we said is
best.
how
Yeah.
good Spielberg is with kids.
I know.
And then
good
2
job.
years
happened?
later, Jurassic Park, and those kids
Oh,
are
I know.
geniuses.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, he like invented the kids on bike
Right.
genre
Uh-huh.
of movie.
Yep.
I feel like.
And so maybe that's it. Maybe I feel like I want him to be that Spielberg. And when it wasn't doing that for me, even as a young kid, I was like, this isn't what I wanted it to be. Me, cookie potty,
This
mine,
is not
mine,
the
mine.
potty cookie.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
yeah. So I
You-
don't think I'm jaded, even though I am a little critical and jaded. I love loving movies. I want to
Yeah.
love this movie, but it just the cringe. I think the cringe factor being so high is the main reason why it's hard for me to watch.
That's fair. But you do like Rufio, you said?
I love Rufio and I love
Yeah.
that guy, of course, right?
Yeah.
Zuko from
I know.
Last Airbender. How you're
Yeah.
not gonna love Rufio? He's great, and I like you're saying, like both of you have been saying, like the thought of him rising to power
Yeah.
is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think his death comes out of nowhere.
Yeah. So sad.
For
And
sure.
it really does come out of nowhere.
So I don't like his death. I don't like any of the deaths in this movie. If I want the deaths to be earned, and I don't feel like they are.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah,
the
that makes
power
sense.
play. Like I
Yep.
like Rufio's in charge,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and like he kind of has to face his own pride and demons in order to like accept the Pan is back.
Right.
I like
Yeah.
that arc a lot.
Yeah.
Me too. And I like that he and Hook get a fight.
Mhm.
Like I
Yup.
do like that Rufio and Hook actually have a sword fight. That's cool. I don't think the death. I don't think Hook would do that for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah, it's basically the tone of this movie doesn't really it's not consistent and it doesn't really make sense.
Yeah. That's totally fair.
Like you've got
Apparently
He-
that doesn't matter to anyone.
I know, like you've got the kids just fighting with like beads and eggs and stuff. Which also the tomato gun, that's super dumb.
What?
Like-
so
No.
cool.
I know, but like here's the thing. Why does that stop all those amazing pirates? They're pirates.
Right.
That's a good call.
They would
These
just
guys
go
are
and
defeated
slap
by
those kids.
soft-boiled eggs and tomatoes.
No, I guess the
Oh.
tomato is like, okay, you and I have talked about this, Steven, and we haven't mentioned it. We did this musical at our school,
Mm-hmm.
and didn't we like rent the sets from Broadway or something like that?
We did Peter Pan. Yeah. I mean, we even had I can't remember the technical term
Yeah,
for it, but the wires that
the fly
I
thing.
can't.
the pulley.
There's a word for it. Dang it.
The
And
pan.
Alex was one of the guys that pulled my future girlfriend.
My former
around.
girlfriend.
Yeah. So a girl that both Anthony and I dated.
Steven and
Played
I both
Peter Pan.
dated Peter Pan.
Wow. Wow.
That's a Gomer
And Alex
revelation.
pulled her around on a wire. And both Anthony and I were in the pit. And they got like really nice sets
Yeah.
for our high school performance of it.
They were glorious.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
But anyways, I think the sets is an homage to the play,
Yes, I agree.
which is like the only thing that makes me not think they're stupid.
I agree. I will confess, this watch around, I liked the sets more because I thought this is what Peter Pan looks like.
Yeah.
This is what the sets of a play look like. And so that's Neverland. And so I enjoyed that a little more when in the past I've been like, this really looks bad. You can tell. Sometimes you can just tell the room only goes to right behind the ship and then there's a blue wall. So bad.
That's like, those are just things I have never noticed. You know, like I think the nostalgia and me watching it as a child, I've just been blinded to those things. And so I need to give it a rewatch. But
no, I
that's
actually think that's a good thing. There are movies like that I feel the same way.
Yeah.
It's like, no matter what anybody says about this, it's so deeply ingrained in me that I love it. And I love even the things that aren't good about it.
Yeah. This is the first time I'm hearing about the things that are not good. So this is like kind of blowing my mind. No, it's great. It's helpful. I got to rewatch it.
I am wondering what it's like when you rewatch it.
Yeah.
And I hope I haven't ruined it for you. Oh no, now I feel
bad.
bad.
I don't think you can. So
okay.
Like
Good.
you're saying,
That's
it's
good.
just so much nostalgia, like so much good there that I think I'll see those things and be like, oh, Steven has a good point.
Oh wow, that would be nice. Instead of that, curse him, curse that Steven. I never noticed that blue wall before.
Dude, no matter what though, Johnny will carry you through.
Yeah.
That's what I feel too.
That it's like that score makes up for every single sin in that movie.
Yeah.
That the score, it's perfect.
Yeah.
It's very Home Alone in that way, right? Where I would say Home Alone without the John Williams score is pretty good.
Yeah.
But with the Williams score, it is perfect.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know how he does it. Good job, dude.
It's the best.
All right. Well, we should wrap this up because Cause is probably needed outside, right outside that door. And so, listener, now it's up to you. I am honestly curious about how this movie will fare with our listeners. We're going to put up a poll. Instagram is the place to find that most easily. So just look up Two Gomers at Two Gomers on Instagram. We will put a poll up in a week or so. We're going to find out what you think. I just want to say thank you to our webmaster, Adam, Jason for our graphics, Davis for our music, Annie for our social media. Cause, thank you.
Yeah, you're
for
welcome.
coming in. I think actually you added a lot of depth to this and helped me understand why people like it.
Thanks for having me. It's fun. I love getting to talk about fun movies with you guys.
Like I said, this is our final movie of the year. We're going to start
crazy.
January off with a bang by asking listeners which one of the OG Star Wars they want us to do.
Oh my gosh.
So also follow us on Instagram and Facebook so that you can be part of that poll, so that we will know whether we're doing A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, or Return of the Jedi in January.
Oh my gosh.
Also very curious about the results of that poll. All right. Hook. That's Hook. Anthony, any final thoughts? Any final words?
Dude. I mean, we didn't say how good Maggie Smith is.
We're going to have to do tons of Maggie Smith chat in the results show.
We didn't talk about Maggie Smith. We didn't talk about the ruthless elimination of Hurry that happens at the end.
Oof.
We didn't talk about Tim Keller, how he quotes this movie often.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, dude. He just quoted him in the sermon I listened to yesterday. He said the line, dude, it's in Hidden Christmas.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's right. I read that. You're right.
Right? What if the stories are true?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Right? It's in,
Which is also a very episode 7 thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
sort of like that, a sequel to the lore, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Where
Totally.
Han Solo says it's all true.
Exactly. I thought that same thing. Totally.
Love it.
Yeah. Wow.
All right.
Sweet.
Well, good thing we always record 2 super long episodes about each movie we do, because I know I've forgotten a ton of stuff. Also, we still have to put
Sure.
in the taxonomy about what kind of Christmas movie it is. We'll do that also
right.
in the result show.
Right. Okay, good.
All right. Okay.
Sweet.
Great app. Thanks, Kaz.
Yeah. Great app. Thanks, dudes.
Super fun, man. Love you, Kaz. We'll talk to you soon, buddy. Thanks,
Yeah.
Steven.
Bye, Robin, and happy. Just go ahead and watch all 3 Star Warses. All right.
Will
All
do.
right, dude. Let's stop that. 1,
All right.
2, 3, stop.